Hey, this is Gio with Strategic Edge Trading. Today we are talking about the latest release of the Stratus Engine. We're going to take you through all the components. So if you're familiar with the old version, a lot of this will be summary review. But all right, we're just going to get right into it. So we're going to start off with cloud structure. Cloud structure tells us the current trend of price. So I'm not, that's not your top-down analysis, high time frame look. Um, Actually, that is derived from the high time frame cloud. So you're not going to see the full cloud, but you will see the cloud line marked out as this thick pink line, even if you are so zoomed in and that line is actually out of view, it won't matter because we have a small data box in the lower left-hand corner, which is going to tell you whether price is below or above that high time frame cloud line, and give you an overall directional bias uh, for top-down analysis. Okay, so that is the top-down portion. The actual clouds are telling you what is happening in the here and now. This is your current look. So if you have a cloud that is angling down, colored blue, that is going to be a bearish cloud. Price beneath that is probably going to make a nice trend leg down. Price inside of that is likely to chop but make lower lows. Okay. Opposite that, you'll have green clouds. These green clouds that are angled up are your bullish clouds. When price is above a bullish cloud, you can typically expect it to make a more clean directional move. When price is inside a bullish cloud, you can expect it to range but make higher highs. Okay. And when the cloud is more or less horizontal and it is gray, then it is a storm cloud. In a storm cloud, what we're actually anticipating is if you look at the previous price leg, we're expecting it to range within that and probably go as high as a key level that happened inside of that price leg before maybe choosing to reverse or consolidate further. Okay. So you can see this one, there is a fair value gap that forms here that's right on top of a double stack of magnet levels. And that's where price gets to and then chooses to kind of continue that consolidation, but in a bit more broad sweeping chop there. Um, so those are our three cloud types: bearish, bullish, and storm. Okay. Now we're going to get into the price glows. So we'll start with the cautionary glows. Those are going to be your reds, which typically denote periods of tight chop. Okay. Then you're going to have your yellows, which are cautionary. There's a potential price reversal, or we are entering maybe a trend leg that, a run of price that is with the current trend direction, but anticipated to potentially be short-lived. Okay. So those would be high probability traps, that we are looking to avoid. Okay. Then the more positive price glows we're going to see are going to be green and turquoise. And when we have high time frame confluence, now purple. Okay. So here we get a green glow, which would mean that you've got a high probability that going short here might be a good idea if you're going to trade with that cloud line. That then gets your clear skies glow, but you're only ever going to get a clear skies glow now um, when you are not in compliance with the high time frame confluence. So that doesn't mean that this is a bad trade to take, but it would be more of a scalp looking trade for me personally, knowing that I'm going counter to the overall trend because at this time price was above the higher time frame cloud. Um, if you get a purple glow, that is clear skies condition, which is already multiple layers of confluence that are kind of caked into to that calculation. So you're already getting, this would be the equivalent of everything that it took to get a turquoise clear skies glow. But in addition to that, you have the confluence of the higher time frame directional bias, making this just perfect weather for a run short. Okay, so that's what you're seeing with that purple glow. And those are all of the conditions when it comes to the clouds and the price glows. It's very easy to read. That's the intention. It's the clouds tell you more or less what's happening with structure right now, and then that price glow tells you what the Stratus engine recommends in terms of safe ways to potentially navigate these markets. The other price plots that you'll see, if we go to more current, so this was a half day today on Black Friday, you'll see that there are now little label plots. You don't get them deep back into history. So today was Friday. We were looking at Tuesday previously. Um, but you'll see that they just give you a direct visual cue. Hey, something changed in the sky map. Take a look. So here we see a storm cloud is kicking off. Now you could always tell that because the cloud was turning gray. Price went from being above the bullish cloud to inside this gray cloud. We always knew that was a storm cloud kickoff. But now you get this little storm emoji designation that says, hey, if you didn't notice, just something to look at, right? We're now probably going to range in this last price leg. Over here, you see the one for the perfect weather glow happening, which is just a big ray of sunshine. Here you have the storm glow kicking off. So you see the sun starting to peek out from behind the clouds. So this might tell you, hey, we've got, something brewing up, sun's starting to shine, and here you go. Wow, we've got perfect weather for this thing to go long. If we scroll left, yeah, then you could target one of these deviation magnet levels above. Um, the other ones that you'll see popping up are all of your bonus trade confluence signals. Now, I know in the past we've always called these your bonus trades, like trade signal entries. I really like thinking of them in terms of just another context clue. I don't like always basing my entries based off of the fact that one of these prints, like this one is a golden third, a GT signal, right? That means that we've got a third wave and we've got a likely breakout to the upside. Um, but just anytime you see one of those things pop up, whether it's Golden Third or TS for Turtle Soup or DP for Divergent Peaks, some of these are studies on price, some of them are studies on other tools within the sky map, like the BW panel down at the bottom there. But these are all things that the sky map is kind of calculating in the background and taking into account. And when it plots on there, I don't necessarily want you to go, oh, I have to go long. It plotted this thing. That's not the case, but it is telling you that there is context that supports, you know, that stance for taking a position in that moment. And if it's aligned with the cloud and it's aligned with the price glow and it's aligned with the BW and you have a clear price target to go to, then you've got all the factors that would make a solid reason to enter a position. The other things that you're going to see print are going to be price delivery imbalances, commonly called fair value gaps. So these are volumetric 1 minute candles, meaning that the more volume that there was that transpired during that time period, the actual bigger the width of the candle will be. That is a not the most useful data point. You could break that down further and get into like a volume footprint, and that would show you that right here where we actually drew out this fair value gap, this box right here, if you look, there was an imbalance in price delivery. Um, really, really clear. It actually started up here and ran all the way down to here, where only buy side was offered during that time. Okay. Why do we track those things? Because those are good potential entries because price is going to want to come back and rebalance. Now, that's not always the case. You see this one, price never came back. This is also later in the session, but price never came back to it. But here we have a fair value gap that got drawn. As you can see, there was a price delivery imbalance all through that section, and price did eventually touch back into it um, before continuing on with the trend. So those are the reasons that we're tracking those price delivery imbalances because price likes to come back off or sell side before rebalancing and letting it go back off the way it came. The other things that you're going to see that are annotated on here are change of character and break of structure. So when we see a change of character, what's actually happening is that price action, we closed beneath the old swing low. And because of that, price action, we would now anticipate it to continue making lower lows and lower highs. So the next time we see one of those, it would be a break of structure going that way. Let's see if there's any more here on the chart. Yep, here you got to change character. Here you have a break of structure. So that means that we were already in a market that was making um, higher highs, higher lows, and um, we broke the old higher high. We're going to go make a new one. So that's our break of structure. Here it happens again. We had a pivot there, we broke it, and then we went on to make higher highs up there. So um, that's kind of your way to see if price action is um, reacting how you'd expect versus the clouds versus the price close versus the levels and everything else. Here you see some more of those plots. Like here you get a golden third, which happened right after a delta squeeze and a perfect weather price glow. So all of these things stacking up right here gives me a lot of confidence that even, we tapped through this level once before. So if I were to take a long here, I could probably target the next level, which does get hit. Um, so that's how we're utilizing all of these context clues in addition to price, in addition to the VW, which we will cover in the next video. But those are all of the plots that you're going to see on the latest version of the Stratus engine. And that's how we're utilizing them to kind of craft our narrative around which way price should be going and where it's smart to make entries and where we should probably sit on our hands due to chop being identified in the market. Thanks so much. Trade well out there.